So this is something new. I got a bunch of lovely folks here. We're gonna play some D&D. This is being recorded probably like a couple months before you're seeing this. So if you want to suggest how we change things, go fuck yourself. You got like a month to wait.
Figure it out. Read the future.
We're not gonna have any feedback for like 5 episodes probably. I don't know. But we'll go round the table. I am Rytos, obviously. You're on the channel. You would know. We'll go, I guess, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Man, I gotta go second. What the hell?
You weren't quick enough, buddy. Sorry.
What the fuck?
Wham.
So, I'm Pastra. I'm a horror YouTuber. You might have heard of me. I covered some analog horror stuff, made my own, covered some mascot horror stuff. Have not made my own of that. Yeah. That's me. Not yet. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Never know.
All right. I'm David Barron. I do stupid things with video games like steering wheels and shit.
Huge.
And
Huge.
I like FNAF World a lot.
As you should.
As I should. Exactly. It is peak.
Do I go next?
Yes, you. That's
okay.
clockwise.
Okay, yeah. Hi, hello. I'm Dan Seibert. I'm the writer and producer for Lorefy over at Team Theorist. And I tolerate FNAF for these fine people at this table.
Huge.
That's fair.
I also tolerate FNAF. I am, I guess, Mama Toast on the internet, and I guess y'all can just refer to me as Amy, because Mama Toast is a mouthful.
Yeah.
I don't do anything on the internet. This is my first internet thing besides the Rydos podcast.
Fair.
So, I read a lot of books.
Yippee!
And I play video games.
You may have noticed that her profile picture is not moving. We can't figure out a good setup to be in 2 separate rooms yet, so we're on the same microphone, which means my mouth is going to open every time either one of us talks.
So confusing.
So I'm like, luckily, the only feminine voice in the chat to make it much easier to understand who's talking when. That being said, even though we're majority horror and horror adjacent content creators, actually not a horror campaign. I guess we'll get into it.
I'll make it one.
Full disclosure, all of us here have played D&D many times. At least I've never recorded Dungeons and Dragons. So this is a bit of a foray. And we'll learn as we go. Yippee!
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah, be patient with us as we figure out this brand new adventure.
We're gonna need it.
D&D?
And of course, because it's the first time we're producing Dungeons and Dragons as content to be consumed, I made it easy on myself and made an entire new world. So I guess let's go into that.
Awesome.
Yippee, we're not in the Forgotten Realms. Oops. Oops, all homebrew. I guess we'll swap
Oh,
over.
man.
Ages ago, history started anew. Scholars bicker over what had and had not transpired, as most texts from before this great reawakening have been lost to time. First-hand accounts noted that the world must have endured some sort of flood, as the ground itself felt soggy for many feem. But this population could not recall anything before that dogger, aptly referred to as the first new dawn. All that's been left since is the pursuit of knowledge that has been forgotten and scattered amongst the various ruins of this world. However, many scholars have noticed a sort of category to ruins. Across the tops of mountains, wind-scarred, barren ruins can often be found, with texts that, when recovered, are nearly unintelligible to modern tongues, at least without years of study. But likewise, hidden away underground are waterlogged ruins that hold a completely distinct set of texts and relics within them. Because of this, dungeon delving is respected as an academic pursuit above all else. Scholars hope that they can uncover the history that's been lost to time, as the only things remembered before the first new dawn are that which is told by dragons. Most religious scholars agree that the world of Stolyrth is that of an egg of the 7th ethereal dragon, Ond. The other 6 ethereal dragons attempted to help Ond incubate and hatch, but in their efforts, they formed the world we know and live on, around it, and it is Ond's energies seeping through the crust that created all living beings. Due to the formation of this world, dragons are revered as minor deities. They are as huge and majestic as they are terrifying and rare. However, above all else, dragons are smart. They learned a long time ago that building up your own hoard is a lot of effort. Why should they be the one picking up gold pieces off the ground and scrounging around like an animal? There are several much smaller creatures who are more than willing to do whatever you say. This line of thought led to many dragons striking deals with local villages. They provide a healthy and ever-growing hoard within their town, and in return, the dragon is to protect it. After all, that's where their hoard is. Thus began den cities, groups of civilizations gathered around their patron dragon. The more prosperous and thriving a city is, the stronger their patron dragon can become. The better gifts the populace can bestow their dragon, the more willing that dragon is to protect them. Like an economic symbiosis. Welcome to Mythal, a continent on the planet Stolyrth. Vither, a small town smack in the middle of a city to the north of... I should have my Google Doc open when I say shit like this. The city to the north of Bjargstock, and the city to the south of Swaller, both of them den cities. But this small self-sufficient town is smack in the middle. The farm produces the food they need, but since they're on the route between these two cities, they receive plenty of trade and travelers. Now, our wandering adventurers have found themselves in this city for hearing about a job offer that had quite a high price tag attached to it. Presently, they find themselves inside of the town hall, meeting the local farmer Eric Buckwheat IV. He's a bit of a scrawny human in his late 20s, not really wanting to be a farmer, but with a last name like Buckwheat and a family lineage that spans 50 years, what can you do? But Eric Buckwheat had put up a job on multiple nearby towns, giving it to any passing traveler hoping to find a bite, for some missing bears. So we zoom into Town Hall at a nearby table, and we'll go back to our main screen here to find Eric Buckwheat describing his plight to two odd-looking individuals. Zach, why don't you go ahead and describe what your character looks like?
All right. So I am a human. I've got a bit of a tan, dark brown hair that I keep tied back in a bit of like a little man bun I've got going on. Little bit of stubble and a large scar going down the side of my face. Covering my entire body, I am dressed in fine green robes, with little chains and little trinkets just kind of strewn around the sides. I carry a book by my side, and I wear a fine pair of black leather gloves.
I've pulled up your, we all made hero forges, because that's a good way to also help visualize. Helped pull that up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And sitting next to you at this table, David, why don't you go ahead and describe your character?
I have ashy-ish white hair from multiple failed spell experiments. Lots of burning of the hair. I wear, at least this outfit, I'm wearing a ashy green shirt with a just purple-ish cape thing. I don't really know what to call it. And then some tan pants to pull it all together, with my two blood red knives beside me.
And the two of you are sitting across from Eric Buckwheat as he is going through this job description as you came knowing that there's missing bears, and that's pretty much all the flyer that you found on the road said. So, again, to go over it, I've had a few people take up the job, but every time that people go off into the forest, they either don't come back, or they come back with a cub, and that's not what I'm asking. So, I know I only do the wheat, the corn, and the livestock, but I'm neighbors with Honeybee Tavern, and their honey almost always attracts local bears. And the way that my livestock typically hardy up to make sure that we have denser meat is protecting us from those bears. So it's a little roundabout, but my meat quality has gone way down because these bears just haven't shown up in months. So I know it's strange, but there's a den about a half-day's journey east of here. And I don't want you to kill the bears, but can you find them or find what's stopping them?
Yeah, if there's proper compensation.
Yeah, of course, yes. We agreed on... And he plops this burlap sack onto the table that jingles a bit as it lands. We agreed on 10 gold. I'm gonna be real. If there's bears, I can afford 15. But if the bears are dead, I can only afford 10.
Well, if you're able to provide 15, 10, doesn't really matter to me. I believe in...
I want 12.
Yes. Well, the man said he can give us 15 if we can do the job and find his bears. Let's not make it any more difficult for him.
Fine.
I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. And, do you have any idea what it could possibly be that is potentially stopping these bears from coming by your town? You said that people have gone to the forest and gone missing.
I really don't. So typically, I mean, they're bears, right? So I wouldn't assume that like a wolf came by to stop them. I'm worried about hunters, but the fact that people haven't come back yet, maybe something's moved into that den. But look, I'm a good farmer. I'm not a hunter.
Yes, well, that is completely understandable. Well, unless there's anything else you'd like to tell us about before we get going, I believe we should make our way towards that quest as soon as possible. Wouldn't you agree, Johnny?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's get it over with.
I had him make a history check for your request.
Mm-hmm.
There was one guy, he came back. He didn't tell me what was in there, but he did have a nasty gash on his chest. So if it's an animal, it's probably got some claws to it.
I see.
Either that or he tried to fight a bear. I don't know. He didn't tell me.
You can see, like, at that comment, my character I kind of chuckle, look down a little, like, look down to the floor for a moment, just, well, either way, it's good to know that we're dealing with something bestial. Not dealing with potential bandits or hunters at the very least.
I don't think so, because something seems to still be in there. And I figured if it was a hunter, they would have sold the pelts in town, We have a marketplace, but there's only about 100, 150 or so of us in this town. I think I'd know if bear pelts started getting sold.
Right, yes.
There's always a black market.
Not here.
Are you sure?
I guess I'm not, but I mean...
I feel like the poor man would know if there was a black market in his town, Johnny.
Hey, there's a reason they're called the black market. They're sneaky.
I would rather not know if there's a black market if I'm being real with you. I'm just trying to run a farm.
Yes, of course. And because of that, we're not going to bring up any mentions of a black market again.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look for one later. Whatever. I bet there's one.
Of course.
I mean, if you really intend on finding one, maybe Madame Thyra would know something about it, but I don't know. She knows about a lot of weird stuff.
Please, can we just focus on the task at hand? There are missing bears and people are going missing in the forest. Let's focus on that before we focus on any black markets.
Actually, you raise a good point. If you can find any identification of anyone who's gone missing near the den, I could probably pay you a silver each. I'm sure their families would want to know.
Well, we can
Yeah,
certainly try for that.
I kind of just assumed if they didn't came back, they gave up and left, but you raise a good point. They might be dead in there. I don't know.
Well,
All right.
we
Well,
will
yeah.
see what we can do. And as I say that, I kind of like push myself back in my chair and kind of stand up, getting ready to go. And I kind of gesture for my partner here to follow along.
I kind of see that, but I've been like leaning back in my chair, and as I go to get up, the chair tips over and.
He tries to stifle a laugh, but just bursts out laughing.
Help! Help me! Help me.
Yes, of course. And I reach down to you, and I try to grab onto your hand.
Man, that was scary. That floor is hard.
Dawnfather, shine your way, intrepid adventurers.
Yes. Typically,
All right.
Johnny, wooden floors are hard.
They
Let's get
are.
going before
Who
we make
told
more of
me?
a fool of ourselves.
Whatever. All right, we'll come back with your bears. Bye.
So as you leave the town hall, this is a go back to the town view. This, like I said, is more of a secluded town, but it's not without its places of interest. Leaving town hall, there is several places of congregation nearby. Most travelers end up drinking their fill at Honeybee Tavern and passing out at Sleeping Willow Inn. But there's a lot of hustle and bustle around the marketplace, many carts, and many just townsfolk and adventurers themselves are passing through this main path from the bottom of the town straight through it. It's a very well-trodden path. But the floor is yours with the information you have. The bear den is about a half-day's journey east past Eric Buckwheat's farm.
Okay. And this is Zach speaking for a moment.
Yeah.
I forget. Is it just me and David's characters traveling together, or do we have any other party members with us currently?
Currently, Elena is in the woods waiting for you guys to be done with the town stuff.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Okay. So in that case, as we step outside, I guess I'm just kind of just fold my arms for a moment and start looking around. Just, that is the third time I have had to pick you up off the floor after we've accepted a quest.
Hey, these things are a long time. I want to relax a little bit. Leave me alone.
Oh, and you certainly find your ways to.
Yeah, I do.
I would just rather not be the laughingstock of every single town we walk into.
I didn't hear anybody laughing.
Then you're deaf, Johnny.
Okay, just because I have one ear that's not really working too well because fireball spells are loud doesn't mean that I can't hear anything.
Okay, you're right. Anyway,
There are a couple passersbys who are kind of slowing down a bit just to see if a fight's about to break out, but they're not stopping. They've got places to be. But you're definitely attracting eyes.
Let's just find these bears. Whatever.
Yes, Elena's waiting for us in the forest. Let's not leave her waiting any longer.
All right. Yeah, I'll start walking towards the fields.
All right, fair enough. So as you kind of approach, you see past the fields, there is that tree line. Within a few minutes, you're getting close enough to see Elena not hiding behind a tree, but standing a couple trees back, still well into the woods. Why don't you describe your character?
Okay. So she is an Eladrin elf, and her main season is spring. She's very bubbly, airy, not very smart. Because she's been all alone forever, basically. And she's just vibing, talking to some of the trees. Are there squirrels?
Yeah.
Squirrels, birds, just vibing, looking for clues while she's waiting. All she knows is something about bears.
Fair. So you're looking for clues about bears. That's all you know, right?
Yeah, all I know is that they're getting more information about finding the bears. So she's going to be looking around and talking to animals. Oh, by the way, I meant to ask, with the free speak with animals, is that going to cost a spell slot, or is it going to be Baldur's
Let me
Gate.
check what I know they changed how Speak with Animals works. Let me just double check the 2024. I'm pretty sure it costs a spell slot. I don't know if it lasts all day anymore though.
Oh, okay. Speak with Animals is only 10 minutes now?
Ooh, but it's ritual.
Okay.
So it's 10 minutes, but it can be ritual casted.
Okay.
So you can cast it without a spell slot if you spend the 10 minutes to cast it.
Yes. She will do that.
Okay.
She has done that.
Alright, so I guess make a investigation check.
Oh, great.
Since it's not really animal handling because you're just talking to them. Yes. So it's kind of just what information can you find?
Alright, well that's a flat 18. I have to take points away from that because she's not very smart. So that's a 16.
Huge. So from asking around, eventually you do find a blue jay who's landed on a branch, who you were talking to a squirrel and this blue jay lands next to you. I'm sorry, were you asking about the bears?
Yes.
Oh, it's been so much better since they've been gone, I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
My nest has been fine, and wait, you're looking for bears?
We're looking for bears.
Oh, no. Those bears have not been there. Those bears have been gone ever since the growling started.
What growling?
The growling from the den. Why, there's many voices growling out of the den.
Do you know what's in there? Have you gone?
Me?
Yeah.
The blue jay almost does a double take. No, I have not gone in the den. I am a bird.
I had to ask.
But I would be careful. There's many voices growling from that den.
Many voices? Do you know if anybody has gone into the den that has come out?
I've seen a few walking folk go in.
Did they ever come out?
I've seen a few walking folk go in.
Oh, that's not good. And you don't want the bears back?
Whatever's in that den doesn't come out. The bears do.
The bears come out.
The bears come out. Well, they came out, but they don't come out anymore. But whatever's in there now doesn't come out. It just stinks. Stinks like human poison.
Human poison?
The kind that makes you fall over and fall asleep. Make an insight check.
13.
You wager to guess human poison that makes you fall over and fall asleep is probably booze.
Okay.
And as Elena is speaking with this blue jay, the two other members of the party walk up.
This walk is so boring. When's the cave gonna get here?
We've been walking for a grand total of a couple minutes. You will survive.
It's the longest minutes ever.
Oh, hey, look, a distraction. There's Elena talking to a bird.
Talking to a bird?
The moment you get close, that bird books it the fuck out of there.
Wait, no!
Oh. Apologies if we, interrupted your conversation. We got more information about the quest. We weren't able to get much from the farmer. However, we did learn a couple of things.
Do share.
Apparently, the missing bears seem to have been, going missing because of some kind of beast. A couple adventurers have taken the job like we have. None have come back except for one who appeared to have some kind of large gash.
Bird says no walking people come back out.
The bird said that.
Bird said that, yes.
The bird, like the thing that just flew away.
Yes.
That has a beak.
I like to think as the two of us said that, Johnny's clearly saying it sarcastically. I'm slowly nodding yes, okay, the bird said that, okay.
I like to imagine that of the time you've traveled together, Johnny has not comprehended that Speak with Animals is a spell.
Yeah. Just the sorcerer doesn't get it.
I don't know. She just keeps talking to animals. It's weird.
Weird, I don't get it.
I've tried explaining it before, but he never processed it, so I just stopped trying.
The bird also says it smells like human poison that puts them to sleep.
Human poison that puts them to sleep.
Yes.
And what did you take from that?
Booze?
Booze, yes, okay.
It
So,
could also be a lethal poison.
potentially, but
Like, really lethal.
that's interesting, though.
And there's lots of voices and growling. That is what the bird
Voices
said.
and groveling.
Yes.
So it seems we may not be dealing with a beast after all. But then again, what kind of maniac takes over a bear's cave to make it into some hideout?
Someone who can fight a bear, clearly.
Well, yes, but why would we be dealing with that? Why would they bother with that? We wouldn't be dealing with your
I mean,
standard
Turkey's pretty
bandit.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to ignore you for now and continue
What?
talking.
And the
So-
bird said that they're happy the bears are gone. Their eggs are safe.
I
Maybe
see.
it was
Well,
the bird's doing.
I don't think it was the birds' doing.
You don't know.
And unfortunately for the birds, we're being paid to get the bears back. So,
Yes, I know.
yes, I hope they understand, but we need whatever gold we can get right now. So, what do you think we should do? I think it might be smart to at least scout the area, get a look at the cave, see if we can get an idea of what we're dealing with before we go charging in to fight whatever monsters or people could potentially live in there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Well, I mean, once we identify the bears aren't in there, can I just, like, fire some magic in there and hope for the best?
No, you cannot fire some magic in there and hope for
Why?
the best.
Like a
That's-
like a
I have to agree with him
snap
on
my
this one.
fingers
No
and
fire.
boom, things explode.
That is how we've been chased out of towns before.
Ugh, those towns were stupid. I hated them.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm
Didn't know how
sure
to
that's
have
the way
fun.
you felt. Yes, whatever. I think we should take this with a bit of caution. We don't know what we're dealing with. If we go quietly, if we find out what we're dealing with first, we can then plan ahead.
And then we can walk back out.
Exactly.
And then I blow
Thank you,
it.
Elena. No!
Why?
At no point, because we need to get the bears back, and if the bears don't have a cave to, just don't fireball the cave.
Fine. Really
Thank you.
wanted to.
So we're going to examine the cave from a safe distance, I hear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Like I said, it's about a half day's walk. Nothing too dramatic. It's your average forest fare. There are some animals, but it's still during the day, so most of the dangerous ones are still lurking. You get there without too much trouble. It's pretty much a straight shot since bears had trodden this path before. As you approach the den itself, who's in front, I guess?
Get me in front.
Sure. How are you approaching this den? Are you trying to sneak up on it, walking up casually? What's the vibe?
I am walking up extremely casually.
Sure. Everybody make a perception check.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Oh, I don't have my hardware acceleration on. Hold on, that is lagging.
The dice lag huge.
1 second, let me fix this.
Well, while he's fixing that, I rolled a 13.
Okay.
13.
All right.
Okay, let me roll
Okay.
that. Let me roll that. I rolled a 9.
Okay. As you approach, you notice that there's been sounds of the forest throughout your entire walk. From the den itself, it's almost deathly quiet, as if there's nothing going on in there. Approaching closer to the den, it's quite deep. Do you have dark vision?
No.
I know I don't.
Do you have dark vision?
I think so.
Well, you're an elf, right?
Yeah.
Yes, elves have dark vision. Okay, so looking into the den, for you two who don't have dark vision, it goes a good ways in until you would need to have a torch. Like, you don't see a back of that cave from the downward slope that it has, since it's already kind of shaded under the trees. You can see a bit further, and it begins to curve, but even you can't see to the end of it.
Okay.
So, I guess with that.
Smell?
Does it smell?
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
I think that's 16 again. Yes.
16? You can smell a bit of an ember, a bit of smoke, and there is a faint whiff of wine. Very faint.
Do we all catch on to this?
I mean, you could also make the investigation checks, or you could just relay that.
I will too. I'm in the front, so I would definitely be
Fair.
thinking
Go
about
for it.
Alright, investigation?
Yep.
Got it. That's a 16.
Yeah, so you get the same
Alright.
smell.
I'm gonna turn around to the rest of the party. Like, I smell, some alcohol and smoke. I think someone's having a barbecue in there.
What?
I think that's just a dude in there. I think it might just be a guy who can fight a bear. I think I might have been right.
But what kind of maniac would empty out a bear's cave to set up a bonfire and drink
A really cool one.
Okay.
You know how metal that is?
He's got a point. That's pretty metal.
I,
You hear a deep booming voice from the sky. Fuck yeah.
That's what we're talking about, bro.
Sick.
I suppose that is quite metal, and you can see I'm doing little quotation marks with my fingers in the air as I say that.
Had to make it weird, didn't you?
Well, I mean, the entire situation we're dealing with is weird. And, Elena, you're able to see through the dark, correct?
Yes.
Are you able to identify anything in the cave that we can't see?
There's a curve, but I can't see past the curve. I have to go in more.
Oh, I see. Well, from the sounds of things, we are definitely dealing with humans of some kind. Can't think of any owl bears or monsters that would set up a campfire and drink wine by it.
While this is happening, I'm gonna just walk to the mouth of the cave, and I want to do thaumaturgy, just shout down the entire cave.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hey! Come out!
Johnny, what are you doing?
I'm just talking to the really cool dude in there.
Do you not understand what caution is?
Huh?
There is a silence for a moment while you're berating Johnny for that. And then a bassy impact that the which of the pebbles at the mouth of the caves even shake a bit.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if these
A bit of light
things.
forms, just a bit of flickering of light forms at the bend of the cave, and you hear a deep guttural.
Dude got a weird voice.
Johnny, get back here to me and Elena right now.
I'll kind of like slowly back up, looking at the cave.
A bit of smoke passes around the curve as well.
Man, that's a really interesting bonfire in there.
Human.
Wow.
We can't judge it from what the little we know. We got to talk to him first. You know?
Johnny, get back here!
Fine.
Maybe we should. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk back over to Gideon and Elena.
Okay, so you said you saw smoke. You said you saw smoke?
I smell smoke.
All right.
I smell smoke.
You smell smoke. Wonderful. So we have just identified that whatever we are dealing with is not human, which means we do not know what it is, and we have probably just pissed it off.
What if it's a dragon? Dragons smoke, right?
Do not
That would be
say
so
it's
cool.
No, it would not be cool.
Man, if that was a dragon, that'd be awesome.
If it were a dragon, we're all going to die. We're all going to die over
How
some
far from the
measly
mouth of the
coins.
cave are you?
I would say I backed up to that. Whatever element.
Like
Gideon
to
or
the
I-
nearest tree line behind it?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
We've retreated, I would assume, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're having a bit of a hushed argument. Let me just do it quick.
Oh no.
The lights that are flickering at the curve at the very back of that cave get a bit brighter, and there's two more And another. It's getting closer.
Maybe we should regroup.
I absolutely agree. I think Elena is the voice of reason right now. I think we should step away and regroup. And
But I really want to see the dragon.
And I really
Voice of
want
reason?
you.
I'm never the voice of reason.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but right now you are. Because it's between me, who, quite frankly, I'm freaking out right now, and Johnny, who is going to get us all killed. We're leaving right now!
I'll just start walking away casually again.
I don't want to run to alert it, but like I'm doing the fastest fast walk a person can do.
Speed walking.
Make either an acrobatics check or a nature check
All right.
to kind of see how you're going through these woods quickly.
Sure.
Johnny, you're
14.
walking, so you're fine.
Yeah.
14?
14.
And what did you roll?
I rolled nature.
Okay, so you're kind of, like you mentioned, you're hitting that kind of speed walk rhythm, and you're trying your best to avoid, like, big piles of leaves or twigs that will snap, and you're doing a pretty good job of it. Are you walking casually or are you running too?
I'm staying in the middle.
Okay. With a couple hours going by, like I said, it's a half day to this den. I assume you're going back to the village.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within about half the time, like within a few hours, you're far away enough and you haven't heard it. You think it's safe to walk. And before dusk, you're able to get back to town.
So, do we tell the farmer that his precious bear cave is now home of a big old dragon?
And like as he says that, like I just make like a grunting sound and I like gesture as if I'm like I gesture in the air like I want to strangle him, but I just
What? You have something against dragons?
No, I don't have something against dragons. I have something against
Are you dragonist, Gideon?
Are you suicidal?
I'm not sure. I really like dragons.
Because the way you approach that cave back there risked all 3 of our lives over 10 measly coins.
Those are some good coins.
They
We didn't
won't.
even get them yet.
We didn't even get the coin yet. No.
Yeah, those bears are definitely, without question, dead.
That is great, but we were specifically told to identify what it was that killed them, and we have no idea because you angered it before we could see it up close.
I don't think I made it angry. I think I made it inquisitive.
We go back tomorrow.
Okay.
Don't make it angry.
Yes, we could go back tomorrow. However, we need to be more prepared.
We can bring
Agreed.
some dragon alcohol.
Dragon alcohol.
Yeah.
And where do you plan on getting that?
I'm gonna look around. Is there any bars or taverns nearby?
There is Honeybee Tavern right next to the farm. That's kind of the reason you're going for the bears.
Then yeah, we'll go there.
Sure. So at this time of at this point it's becoming dusk. At this time most travelers well, I don't want to be on the road at night. So most travelers will head to the Honeybee Tavern, have a nice meal, a drink, head to Sleeping Willow Inn. So I'll pop up the town again so you can kind of see what you're looking at here.
Okay.
Well,
Since she has officially entered the town, she is now blue.
Okay. Yeah, you're coming with. You don't want to hang out outside for this.
Yeah.
So as you kind of cross the tree line, you notice Elena's whole body kind of changes, and the light airiness that was about her is now cold and frigid. It's almost as if there's a slight wind circling her, as she has now become more winter adjacent.
Very pale white skin with a very hint of blue, and her hair is this light icy blue color with icy blue eyes.
But entering the Honeybee Tavern, it's lovely. Looking around, it's warm and inviting. There's travelers and merchants of all kinds enjoying themselves to the fullest. a lot of halflings running around serving. I would say like 7 to 10 halflings are running back and forth, serving different tables. They all look a little bit similar. You get the idea they might be a family. And what do you do?
I'm gonna walk right up to the actual bar.
Sure.
And it's gonna kind of like just put my hand down on the counter and be like, I need alcohol to tame a dragon.
There's only one woman behind the bar. It's the oldest woman worker you've seen so far, and she kind of turns around to you. It's this large halfling woman, leans on the bar, and she goes, "Now, is that an expression, or are you actually fucking serious?"
I'm fucking serious.
As I notice this conversation happening, I don't want to say I book it for the counter, but
Speed walk. You speed walk again.
I speed walk again up to the
You're
counter.
so good at speed walking.
I had pain to deal with this guy. I walk up to the counter and I just put my hand on Johnny's shoulders. Just, I believe what my friend here means is that we would just like to have the heaviest stuff you've got.
Like, it would knock out a dragon.
Right.
Yes.
Specifically a dragon.
Yes. What?
Well, to be quite honest with you, most of the things we have are more of the ale variety. We have, obviously, we're known for our honey mead. We don't have a lot of spirits. Christoph! And she kind of claps, and this younger, late teens halfling boy runs up. Yes, Ma? See if we have any spirits left in the cellar. Nice to meet you. I'm Vala Hunting Blossom. I own this place. And she kind of shakes your hand. Oh, she reaches out to shake your hand. I don't know if you're...
Yeah, I immediately...
Okay.
I immediately receive it, yeah.
Very, like, motherly, caring handshake to her. And are you going to be needing any food or lodging tonight? I can tell my wife over in Sleeping Willow if we need a room.
Well, yes, that would actually be nice.
I don't want to pay for it.
Well, one of you will have to, I will be honest.
Yes.
We run a fine business, but we don't run a charity.
Gideon, the most heavy side-eye of all time.
Of course. We don't expect you to give us lodging for free. I'll pay for both of our rooms.
Sure. So 2 rooms for...
No, actually, there's 3 of us.
Oh. Yeah, I believe I can make that work. It might not be the best rooms we have.
I will sleep outside.
I'm sorry?
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean, if you're that tight on cash, there's...
No. The outside makes me happy.
Well, I can't have you sleeping in the woods. There's something hunting the bears out there.
I'll be safe.
Do you want to sleep on the roof? We have a nice garden.
In a garden?
Where do you think we get the honey?
I can sleep in your garden.
Well, someone will be up there to make sure you don't mess around, but you seem like nice people.
I will sleep in garden.
Is she alright?
Yeah, she's perfectly fine. You get used to her demeanor after a while.
Alright, I'm tempted to charge you because it is lodging, but it is outside, so I guess you're fine. Just know if you do mess with anything, not only will one of my children be watching you at some point, all of them have some kind of combat training.
Oh, no, of course. Please don't expect any issues coming from us. Elena here is a druid. She will respect your garden like no other.
Tree hugger, I understand. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I've never met one so devout, but as you were. Yes, let me get that, and you see the young boy comes back up. Ma, we have about a barrel of whiskey. That's about the strongest we have on us. I don't believe whiskey is going to tame a dragon.
Oh, tame a dragon is more a figure of speech where we're from. We don't actually need it to tame a dragon, and I kind of elbow Johnny.
It's gonna be like a bit of an eye roll.
That will do just fine.
Well, do you want the whole barrel?
Do we want the whole barrel? Oh, okay. We want the whole barrel.
We want the whole barrel.
It's at least 100 servings worth of whiskey. About 2 gold piece?
2 gold pieces.
Oh, they kind of reach behind and just pull out 2 gold pieces.
Oh, you're actually willing to pay this time.
Oh.
And as I reach, I realize I have nothing, and I slowly put my hand back down.
A little moth flies out of your pocket.
Yeah.
I like to think, like, as Johnny pulls out his own little coin purse to pay for something, you see Gideon get, like, noticeably, like, happier. And then when he opens up the thing and sees nothing, you see the life just drain from my expression.
And I kind of give, like, the most, like, goofy-ass smile towards you. Hey, buddy.
Yes, fine. And I reach into my own coin purse and I put down the 2 gold pieces. And how much for the rooms?
The rooms are a bit cheaper. I can do, I'll put it on your tab. Are you having any food or beverage tonight?
Well, I'm not one for eating this late. What about you, Johnny?
Got any croissant?
I've got bread and biscuits. I admit I don't have a pastry. We're pretty hardy here.
He specifically wants croissants.
Do you have a bin for suggestions?
croissant?
Yes, actually. And she pulls up this kind of like metal bucket that was underneath the counter. And there's you hear like a little bit of a sloshing, but she puts on the counter. You can't quite see in it because it's pretty tall. But she then also puts a bar napkin and a little like waiter's pencil on top of it. You can put your suggestion in there.
In big letters, I write croissants, fold it up and put it in.
Sure. And she kind of picks it back up. And what's your passive perception?
8.
All right. She puts it back down. If
that was definitely a garbage can.
The other 2 are with you. Your passive perception is also an 8?
I actually don't know.
What's your perception? Is a +7, so passive is 8 plus your perception, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
So you would have a 15. Zach, what do you have?
I have a 13.
Okay, you 2 notice that's where the drink waste goes into. So it's like already dissolving as she's putting it back down.
You see, I just kind of look at it, and I look at her, and I give a light smile and a little nod.
Yeah, but please make yourselves at home. I've taken... Oh, I do need a name for the rooms.
You can just mark it down as Gideon.
And Johnny.
Sure.
And Johnny.
All right. And if you're not having any food or mead, then it would just be the 2 silver.
Oh, yes, of course. Here you are, and I slide it over.
Sure. Well, whenever you're done here, you can go over to Sleeping Willow Inn, and my wife will take care of you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Right. And she walks down the bar to help somebody else.
I think that went well.
As we step aside, I put my hand on Johnny's shoulder again, and I go right up to him. Johnny, how are we going to carry an entire barrel of whiskey?
Well, I did not get that far yet.
I just paid that fine tavern owner 2 gold pieces for that entire barrel of whiskey. You're the one carrying it.
Well,
you are the one carrying it.
All right, fine.
You want to tame the dragon with alcohol. You're taking the whiskey.
All right, fine. I will.
Go ahead. Are you gonna pick it up?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
All right. Nat 20.
Actually?
Yeah. 25 total.
Huh.
Really
Okay.
buff sorcerer.
So you kind of lean down, get your hands under it, and you're like, you know what? This was a good idea. This was a great idea, actually. This was a good and on the third thought, you just heft it onto one shoulder, arm around the other side.
All right.
Your knees are buckling, but you've got it on your shoulder, ready to go.
All right, where's the inn?
It's about like 3 houses away.
I was gonna start walking there just calmly.
So
I'm gonna need you to make another athletics with advantage. I'll give you advantage because of the nat 20.
All right.
You're gonna need to make another athletics
the
to
trip
start
there?
walking.
Okay, got it. You're not gonna fucking believe this.
no way! I saw that in real time. I watched him roll it.
I lean back so far, my headphones unplugged. That's crazy. Yeah. So you start going through. Yeah, I guess you're good. I was gonna use this, but I can't anymore. So,
I'm just way too buff. What am I gonna say?
so you start taking the barrel to the inn.
As we're walking to the end, I'm occasionally like glancing at Johnny like, how is he actually carrying that?
Yeah, this is astounding to you and Alana. This does not happen.
Oh yeah.
For reference for the people at home, Alana's strength, Amanda's not a computer right now, is 8. What are your guys' strengths?
16.
10.
Okay, 16. 16 is knowable. I thought it was much lower. So this, like, it's still a feat, but this does not happen. This is a whole barrel of whiskey.
I should mention that an important part of my character design I did forget to mention before is I do not appear buff. I have a very sleeper build. I do not look buff.
Huge.
If you look at me, you would think I'm an average dude.
There's a couple semi-impressed onlookers, but they kind of assume you might be working there. And before long, you kind of waddle your way to the Sleeping Willow Inn. Similarly warm interior, similarly a bunch of halfling teens and young adults running around running the place, and similarly a matriarch by the main counter.
I see.
I just kind of walk in, just holding the barrel. I kind of stand there and look right at Gideon.
So
You must be Gideon and Johnny, she calls from across the room.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be us.
My son told me that you bought a barrel of whiskey, and I thought he was making a metaphor.
I just kind of reach up and just slap the front of it twice. Just.
No, we bought a literal barrel of whiskey. And you can see, like, as I'm saying this, I'm, like, avoiding eye contact with the owner.
She kind of tosses the pair of you 2 keys on a keychain. And just, just know that if you puke in the room, it's an extra fee to clean it.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be fine.
This is for our dragon.
This is for us. The dragon is a metaphor.
It is?
Cool.
What's the
Have
metaphor?
a good night.
Thank you. and as I say that, I'm just like under my breath, it's a metaphor.
Yeah, what is the metaphor for, anyways?
Shut up.
Make an insight check.
Who, me?
Gideon, make an insight check.
9.
She made an expression when you said it's a metaphor, and it will haunt you trying to figure out what that meant.
Oh no!
No,
but
social anxiety. No.
She made a face.
Oh god, not the session 1 social anxiety. Oh.
Frame 1.
Wow, Johnny is just causing chaos in Gideon's life right now.
Oh my god.
I assume you kind of bunker down to your rooms.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
is there anything else you wanted to do for the day? As you get in, it's your standard inn, bucket in the corner, okay bed on a actual bed frame, desk and chair setup that most inns have.
How many beds? Wait, sorry, how many beds were there?
You have 2 rooms, 1 bed each.
Okay. Then I go into my room, and I shut the door, and all anyone can hear from outside is the loudest thud ever. And it like shakes the dust off the ceiling on the flame.
The barrel does not break.
I like to think I sat down in my own room. I sat down on the chair. I pulled out the book that I keep by my side, and I was about to start reading, just like, Finally some peace and quiet. Finally. And then I hear the loud thud from the room over, and I like jump out of my chair.
I like to think I am also like I went to bed early because I got a long day, and I just hear this thump in the end and go.
I like to think you have the room underneath them, and for a moment, 4 wood panels bevel deep with an impact.
Oh, that's not
dust,
good.
Dust falls from the ceiling, but everything seems okay.
All right, I go back to sleep. Hey, it looks fine. I'll be okay.
Is there anything you two wanted to do before nightfall?
Who was that directed at?
Who's two?
The 2 in the inn. Well, I guess there's 3 of you, but the 2 with the barrel.
All I plan to do tonight is try to like calm my nerves after all the stress I've endured at the end of the day. Just sit down, read my book, take a breather, get ready for the day ahead. Maybe like write down in my little book some potential things we could do tomorrow to have a better mission than how today was.
How thin are the walls?
How do you want to find that out?
I'm gonna knock on it.
Okay, make either an insight or investigation check.
So it's a -2 or a 0. Got it.
Huge.
All right. No fucking way.
Are you kidding me?
My God!
Man, you're really using these crits early.
Casino.
I can't wait.
Casino.
I can't wait for us to get in combat and you get 3 ones. Like,
I'm a carpenter apparently. I just understand walls.
so you lean in and you do like a quick just, and as you do that you're like, oh, double plywood. You know immediately what it is.
Double plywood. I kind of like put my
and what's
face...
that? What's that? There's a thin layer of straw between it.
I put my face up to the wall, connecting to Gideon's room, like, hey, Gideon, hey.
Please, do I hear that?
What's your passive perception?
13.
Yeah, you hear that.
So, I like to think I'm sitting in my chair, and like I'm lost in thought with my little quill, writing in my book, just like, all right, so we could have Alana go first into the cave. She has dark vision, and she actually understands. Is it?
Hey, Gideon, hey.
What is it, Johnny?
Did you know these walls are 2 plywood and straw?
What?
Did you know these walls are 2 plywood and straw?
Okay, first of all, how did you figure that out? Second
I
of all,
knocked on it.
Could you? Okay, ignoring what you just said to me, making literally no sense. Please,
You're just not a carpenter.
And you are?
Apparently.
Anyway, Johnny, please, I'm just trying to have a quiet night. I'm trying to plan for tomorrow.
What's
I'm
the plan
trying
looking
to
like?
get... I don't know. You interrupted me in the middle of my writing process.
Okay. I got something for you. Okay?
Okay, I'm
Are they
listening.
still talking through the
I
walls?
shoot a chromatic orb into the cave, okay?
No.
And then I do it again.
No.
Dan, what's your passive perception?
13.
So you being directly underneath these 2 motherfuckers, you're like, it's late, you know, it's been night for like a couple hours now, and you're tossing and turning, you were sleeping so soundly. But after getting woken up, it's taking a bit to calm down and try to get back to sleep, and now all you fucking hear is just, what if I do fucking plan? Daddy, what are you talking? No, dude, listen,
Ooh, patience,
after
Doug. Patience. You have to have patience, Doug.
So then, Gideon, after that, you go in and you, shoot the spells that you also do. And then we and then I tame the dragon and ride it. Into the
Okay, Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah.
I mean this in the nicest, most polite way possible.
Okay.
Shut up. And let me sleep.
You know, I'm gonna go to sleep because I want to, and not because you said that.
Thank you.
And I'd back with
You can't fire me. I quit.
And a somewhat restful night becomes the three of you. Elena, you, after Johnny and Gideon leave with a barrel of whiskey, what do? You were told that you get to sleep on the roof. Do you just wait around? Are you trying to go up? What's your deal?
I'm going to people watch because she doesn't do it often.
Okay.
And order some of their honey mead and a salad.
So go ahead and roll perception for me.
Sorry, I took all the dice luck.
13.
13? You know, there's a lot of people here. Like I mentioned, this is a pretty often stopped travel and trade route. A lot of interesting folks. Is there someone like a kind of person in particular you're looking for?
Anyone that might catch her eye as an intriguing folk.
There is a tabaxi. I don't know, like, if
What is
you're
that?
the like cat folk. And you don't often see them in this kind of verdant area. They're more so in the desert. So it's like, oh, that person's traveled a long way. But other than that, that's not kind of all the vibe you're picking up.
Okay. After she finishes her food and
Maybe about
her
5
drink,
copper for the meal.
Okay. She's gonna leave 1 piece of gold because she only has gold on her.
Okay. You see the boy who kind of picks that up is like, thank you, and like stands up a little bit and like rushes off.
So then she's gonna go back to the bar, and she's going to talk to the bar lady.
Oh, you're packing up for the night, dear.
Yes. Can I go to the garden now?
Sure. Svarok, help her up. And another like mid-20s halfling male come runs up. Is like, up? Yeah, she's sleeping on the roof tonight. Okay. And he leads you upstairs, and it's actually really pleasant up there. So you get there, and it's this huge, the size of the building, rooftop, flower, and tree garden. The tree itself covered vertically in these wooden slats that have been created for bees to converge into. There are also a lot of bees here. Like, it's hard to walk. Have you been in a butterfly garden? That, but with bees.
Ooh.
They seem pretty chill.
She starts to turn back into her spring a little bit. Not as vibrant because she's still in the town, but this is more of her comfort zone, so she's less sad and more like happy.
Yeah, it's lovely up here. And you notice that like at the bottom of the wooden slats, there's also like troughs that are used to like collect the honey from all these hives.
Ooh, she's gonna look for a spot to lay down.
Plenty. It's mostly dirt with some like stone pathways.
She's gonna look for like a nice spot. I guess by a tree.
There's the one tree.
The one tree?
Yeah.
Maybe not by the one tree.
There's a lot of bees in that tree.
The bees won't bother her.
It is the bee tree.
She's gonna go to a spot where she won't disturb any flowers.
Easy enough.
But near the flowers.
Yeah, like people walk through this, so there's pathways to line.
Yes, she's gonna lay in one of those spots, and she's gonna look at the sky till she falls asleep.
Right. One of her kids is kind of just like keeping an eye, not like staring at you, but just making sure you're not like fucking with anything, like trying to hurt the bees or trim the flowers, and definitely like make an insight check.
21.
From the look on his face, he thinks you are insane.
That's exactly what she would. That's what she wants.
He's not saying anything, but he is watching concernedly. And just like not like sat there stationed, but like every like 5 to 10 minutes or so, you'll see like his head poke through the doorway and just like and goes back down. And yeah, before long you fall asleep.
Yeah, she waves every time he pops through.
The next morning comes around. I guess you would probably wake up first since you're literally outside.
And I don't really need to sleep, so...
You are an elf, yeah, so you kind of end your trance as the hustle and bustle is starting to re-amplify as just before dawn is starting to creep over.
Okay.
And you know your companions are at Sleeping Willow Inn, and that's about all you know.
She's gonna sit in the garden and wait for them to get her.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Within
Power
a few hours, everyone starts waking up in the inn. Even if you weren't going to wake up early, everyone who's ready to travel is waking up early, and the walls are kind of thin, so it gets real loud in that inn around 6 a.m.
Okay.
So, despite all the noise that my upstairs neighbors gave me, I'm still gonna gingerly pack my stuff as to not wake them because I don't know their schedule.
Of course.
Oh, he's so much more polite than us. Now I feel really bad.
So as you're kind of getting there, Johnny,
Hi.
are you bringing the barrel with you?
Yeah.
Make another strength check.
All right.
Does the luck run out?
Does it run out?
Oh.
Athletic.
He's got a 16 strength. It's not impossible.
13.
Okay. That last night, you were doing good. You woke up a little sore from it, but you're doing all right, and you can lift this.
Let's go.
But I don't know, and you don't know, if you're gonna last a half-day's journey through the forest while holding it. You might need something to carry it or someone else to help you lift it.
Dibs on it not being me.
Hey, get in. Get in. Hey.
I like to imagine that I'm like still in bed and I'm only stirring awake because of the knocking. Like you know that one image of like Squidward, like his like waking up with bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
That's how I'm waking up to the sound of the knocking on my wall. Just
Glass break sound effect as your eyelids open.
Yes, hey. Johnny.
We gotta carry the barrel to the dragon.
No, you remember our conversation from yesterday. You are carrying the barrel to the dragon. Yeah, and whose idea was it to purchase an entire barrel of whiskey?
Hey, help your buddy out, alright?
I did.
What
when
are
I paid
friends
2 gold coins for the barrel of whiskey.
What are friends for, Gideon?
Paying for all your expenses, apparently.
Good answer, but I meant helping each other out with large objects.
I could get my familiar to help.
As you're talking through these very thin walls, because I assume you're still talking through the wall with the knocking, or did you go
yes.
around? Okay.
Yeah, we're still...
the wall.
You said your, Dan, you said your character's passive perception was a 13?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, you can very clearly hear this conversation.
Okay. You know what? You always start the day with a good deed. That's what I say. And I'm going to get up there and I'm going to help those boys out.
So as you two...
I'm going to go get my cart ready. I'm going to push like the table and chairs that I'm shipping a little further towards the front of my cart. I of course, say hello to my donkey. And I make room for people to comfortably sit at the table and an area for whatever heavy thing they have to be on the cart.
Oh no, does he know?
So as you kind of come back into the inn, now that your cart is ready and prepared and a little dusted off to make sure it's nice and pristine, you strangely don't see any open doors on that floor. You just hear this conversation through 2 different closed doors.
Huh. They do know, though, with doors work, don't they?
Y'all can hear him.
Gideon, this thing is heavy, and I am sore.
Johnny, hold that thought. I think someone is eavesdropping on us.
You say, perfectly listenable through the very thin walls.
Someone is eavesdropping on us. Are you sure?
I'm gonna knock on the first door. I don't know.
It'd be Gideon, probably.
It probably Gideon's door first.
All right, and I'm gonna like quietly just like get up, and I'm just gonna like open the door a crack. And I'm imagining like as I open the door a crack, you're seeing me standing there, like I look like shit. My hair is a mess. I've got bags under my eyes. My eyes are like vaguely bloodshot. Just yes.
And Dan, describe what Gideon sees.
All right.
As I pull up your Hero Forge character.
Yeah. So, Doug looks like just the nicest, warmest hug that you could possibly receive. He's wearing very plain but very nice looking, like just plain clothes. But because he's a merchant, he always looks presentable. So they're always looking at their finest. But underneath his shirt, you can see a slight glimmer of the scale mail that he wears underneath his merchant clothes. And on his back is a great axe and a maul at all times. And his longsword is always by his hip.
I like to think as I look out and see the guy standing at the door, I look at the friendly face, and then I look at the giant axe, and then back at the face, and then back at the giant axe, and then back at the face. And I'm just, can I help you?
Well, hey there, neighbor. I happened to be in the room underneath either you or your friend who have been talking through the wall, which is a strange choice to have a conversation, but I understand that these things are only made of plywood and straw.
Why does everyone know this?
Because you said it so loud.
I was just wondering if perhaps I could help make your day just a little bit nicer and help you move whatever large object you have to your destination.
You
Gideon, who is it?
You say that. There's this pause. And after like this long moment of like consideration on my part, I just say, you, sir, are a saint.
Nope.
Saint.
No, I'm simply just a passerby trying to help out. By the way, Doug Anderson of Anderson's Artisan Furniture. Nice to meet you. And I extend my hand out.
I'm now going to open the door fully, and I'm going to extend my hand forward. Just, Gideon Grimm, my friend and I, we are a pair of adventurers who were stopping by. Apologies if our interesting conversations kept you up at night.
That's okay. That's okay. It was a good test of patience, and hey, guess what? I passed.
He's so good. He's just so very good.
He's so kind. I would die for him already. As I'm like shaking his hand, just yes. Well, my partner and I, he's a bit of an eccentric one. If you're helping us out with this, you'll get used to him. But I wouldn't expect you to do this completely uncompensated. I have some gold and silver in my pockets here.
Oh, no. You put that away. I don't need any of that. Let me just go take a look at what you need hauled. And I'm just gonna walk away and go to the next door.
Oh, yes, of course. And I'm about to step out. Johnny, there's a man here who wants to help with the whiskey. Just, if he knocks on the door, let him in. I'm gonna quickly make myself more presentable.
Oh, shit, for real? Oh, cool.
Okay, then. Knock, knock, knock.
I'm gonna slowly open the door, and I'm just staring daggers forward.
Similar to your fucking Fugi tech. Yeah, okay.
And completely
Yeah, that's a good
unfazed.
reference. What I look like when I'm not talking from the Fuji tech. That's what you're seeing.
Yeah. Completely unfazed, just extends the hand out. Hey there, Doug Anderson of Anderson's Artisan Furniture. I'm here to haul some whiskey, I hear, and I extend a hand forward.
I shake it. I'm just staring at him like, Doug Anderson. Okay.
That's my name.
And I just gotta back up and slap this giant barrel of whiskey just right there.
Oh boy, oh howdy, now that's a heckin' big old thing of whiskey. Oh, well, this is
Oh,
a team
yeah.
lift for sure, don't you know?
Enough to take down a dragon.
A dragon?
A dragon.
You hear
dragon?
an
A dragon.
anguished sigh through the wall.
Oh, well, I assume that's some sort of metaphor.
It is?
It is a metaphor. It is a metaphor. Oh, metaphor for what?
That's why I don't know either.
We'll talk about it on the road. Okay, well, why don't you grab that side? I'll grab that side, and we'll just. I'll go first. I'll go backwards down the stairs. It's no problem.
Okay. Yeah, I reached down and grabbed my side.
I grab
You
my
guys
side.
are what, 15 and 16 strength?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 people on this. That strength, you're good. No checks.
Okay.
You got it.
Easy.
Great. And I just lead him down to the cart, where Donkey is waiting patiently, and we put that thing on the cart.
Ah, there we go.
Yep.
There's another on the front top of it.
And I like to think at this point that I've like followed both of them outside and I've tidied myself up. I've tied my hair back. I've tried to make myself look less sleep deprived, so to say.
You look great, Gideon. Besides the looks like you're on a hangover. Other than that, you look great.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, did you try
listen-
some of the whiskey?
No, actually, I just hung around my partner here for a little too long yesterday.
I have that effect on people.
Anyway, we actually have a third member of our group. I imagine she's still at the garden waiting for us, so I'm gonna go get her, and we can, I guess, give you a briefing about our situation.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and get Donkey ready to go and make sure all the checks are done, food's in the cart, and then we'll be on our way.
All right, perfect. If you could just wait just one moment, I'll go grab.
I'll take all the time you need.
All right, thank you. And I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna go towards the garden to go see if Alana's still there.
Sure, and Alana is sitting... you said you were waiting for them. Are you, like, watching towards the inn?
I'm just sitting in the garden. Just
All right,
vibing.
simple as. Make a perception check, Zach.
Sure.
Because if you're just sitting in the garden, you're not actively looking, I'll have...
12.
Okay, you can kind of see... Like, it's only a 2-story building. So, like, from a distance, you're like, there's someone up there. And as you get closer... The closer you get, the harder it is, because the roof is starting to beat that horizon. But you get the sense that someone's sitting up there.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk up and I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm gonna try and shout, not too loud, just, Alana, are you here?
Yeah, I mean, if you're at the base of you can hear him.
I guess that's time to leave. But that means I get to go into the woods quicker.
Do you just go through the building?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, as you go, there's like maybe like 16-year-old halfling, like barely awake, and as you like open the door, just you leaving?
Mm-hmm.
I'll unlock the door for you. And she kind of barrels down the stairs and opens the door. Thanks again for your patronage.
Thanks for letting me sleep in the garden.
Uh-huh. And closes the door and locks it.
And I'm assuming I'm just like waiting on the other side.
Well, yeah, that was the front door. So, like, Alana's now outside and the tavern is relocked.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just waiting out there, and when I see Alana, oh, good. I'm glad you were waiting there for us. So, interesting development, since last night.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess an individual heard Johnny and I having one of our, lovely conversations, called himself Doug. He offered to help carry the barrel of whiskey that we purchased the other night. Very kind fellow, although I'm unsure if he wants to be following us where we're going, so I was just gonna debrief him, tell him what's going on. We can figure it out from there.
Yeah, okay, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. Well, let's not leave them waiting.
The quicker we do this, the quicker we're back in the woods.
Exactly, I love your spirit. Anyway, let's get going back to them now.
As you're coming back, I would want to be like actively in the middle of a conversation with Doug, and they're just like coming in at the end of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, And then I said, I think there's a human in there. And then there was a dragon.
Whoa, there was a dragon.
There was a dragon.
Well, that's insane. A dragon shouldn't be in a bear den. That's a bear den.
I know. And I really want
Unheard of.
That's why
So
we
that's
have
what-
this alcohol.
Oh, so it wasn't a metaphor.
It wasn't.
Somehow, no one cares that you're talking about this.
I
I rolled a 2. Okay, no one fucking cares.
No, do you want to know something? I care.
Thank you, Doug. You understand me.
I meant passersby, but sure.
I like to think as we're like coming back, I hear like the tail end of their conversation. Just, oh, good God, no. I just come back over, just like, what did you tell him?
I told him what we were doing.
Oh
And
yeah,
what
I
was
got
that.
I got the whole debrief about the dragon in the bear's den. It's absolutely insane. I have never heard anything quite like it. And you want to know something? If it could help you finish your quest, I would love to offer my services as well as my very big hammer.
Well,
That big hammer.
yes, I heard that, Johnny. Doug, I appreciate the offer very, very much, but, not that I doubt you have experience, but how much adventuring have you done?
Well, I haven't done a whole lot of adventuring. I mostly just travel from, town to hometown to deliver these fine artisan furniture that I craft by hand. But I've trained with some of the best, and I don't want to come off as though I have the ego the size of a dragon. That's a joke because of the dragon in the bear den.
I get it.
I'm pretty good at swinging one of these things really hard.
Oh, well, I mean, look, we need all the help we can get right now.
Well, then
honestly.
say no more and let's get going. And he just gets in the driver's seat and
Oh
gets ready to
man,
leave.
I'm so excited.
Well, I mean, like, okay, I guess this is happening now. This is what's going on now. This is today.
Hi, Doug. It's
Oh,
nice to
hey
meet
there.
you. She's back to her blue self, and she's very blah. But she does extend a hand to greet you if you decide to shake it.
He shakes it and it feels like a warm hug, but through a hand.
There is almost a fusion of temperatures where this warm, inviting hand holds what is essentially an elven icicle. And it's almost as if the handshake drips as you shake your hands.
Ooh, a little clammy.
My name is Elena.
Always a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Say, what's got you, well, I'm not gonna say blue, that would be rude, but what's got you down?
Well, you see, I'm in the town and not in the woods.
Oh, well then let's get going.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta get going.
So what took you a half day's journey on foot, granted, not a actual, like, heavy trotted dirt path, so Donkey and the cart are having a bit of trouble. Nothing impossible. Again, bears trotted this path. It is doable. I would say about a quarter's day journey with your cart. You should definitely shave the time in half.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do the ritual spells work?
So you have to take 10 minutes to cast it.
Yes. Okay. And then it just like there. Can I do that while walking, or do I have to like?
Oh,
I
you're
wanna
in the
talk to
cart.
the donkey.
You're
I'm in the
cart.
cart.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I
you
can do that.
You
in
have
there?
to be like stationary, but technically, you're
Yep.
moving while stationary.
I
Okay.
just so it's clear, I have set up the table and the chairs in the cart so you can sit in the chairs at the
Interesting.
table.
So I don't have a visual I don't have the mind's eye, so all of these really nice fun descriptors mean nothing to me. So I'm I don't actually know what the setup is.
You're sitting at a dining room table, but in a cart.
in a cart, so can I see outside?
Yes.
Actually, I have not asked. Is your cart hooded or no?
Oh. Actually, it would be hooded in order to protect.
So you can see out the front and the back.
Yes.
Okay. I want to while we're traveling, I want to do a ritual
Sure.
cast of speak with animals, and then I want to stick my head out there and talk to the donkey while he's walking for a little bit.
Dan, it's your donkey. Do you want me to just give you agency and voice?
No, by all means. I wasn't
well, if-
prepared to play the donkey.
If you insist. Well, you start. The donkey's not going to start talking to you. I mean,
So, just for Doug's clarity, because he hasn't really met her yet, as soon as they step out of there, she goes from blue to green with, like, pink hair. Like, the nice cherry blossom spring pink hair.
Okay.
So she had a little pink head sticking out. She goes, psst, psst, what's your donkey's name? Because she wants to get his attention.
Oh, well, who are you? I'm just kidding. I know who you are. Don't worry about it. The name's Donkey.
The donkey's name is Donkey?
The donkey's name's Donkey.
Okay. Donkey!
well, hello there. My name is Donkey.
Donkey! How are you?
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm doing pretty good on this fine day.
She's doing that thing again.
So, where have you been?
It's called magic.
Wow.
Scene.
Where haven't I been is a better question. Good old Doug here travels all over to sell his fine goods.
Is he nice? Does he treat you well?
Oh, of course, he's one of the nicest folks I ever met. Taught me everything I know.
I got the same vibe. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Anyone who, before I look this up, does speak with animals you speak in common? I believe so, right? Like, animals can just understand you?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it is that. Like, animals.
Because
I'm pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of you speak your given language, and the animal is able to, like, understand and verbally communicate back.
Okay, God, I wish she was just hee-hawing out the front of his
I
car.
agree. I mean, hey, look, man, you're God. You can make this decision right now.
I'm pretty sure you would be, but I would be the only one understanding what he's saying.
Well, yeah, no one else understands the donkey. Yeah, I'm God. So everyone else in this cart right now is kind of just watching as Alana, head sticking out of the front of the cart, is just hee-haw, hee-haw, hee-haw. And the donkey, God forbid, is like looking forward, but has a head tilt and back to her. And they seem to be having a pleasant conversation.
I'm going to look at Doug, and I'm just going to say, she's a druid.
Oh yeah, I figured because she changed colors when we got out of the town, you know?
Well, that has nothing to do with her being a druid.
Oh no, I was prejudice. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh man,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I just kind of figured because she was out in the woods that that's on me.
Doug,
No. Please don't forgive me. This is a learning moment.
She pats his shoulder reassuringly while she's just
Oh, thank God.
talking to the donkey.
You can just say talking to donkey. Thank you very much. Did you have any other questions for Donkey?
She's gonna ask what his favorite food is.
So is it any pertinent questions, or we're just having a pleasant conversation?
Pleasant conversation, but she wants to know to keep an eye out for food.
Okay, well, carrots are a fine treat, but if carrots were all I ate, then I would not be a great working steed now, would I? So good hay and grass is also good, just to keep it going, and feed is always a good one, but that's usually 3 times a day. You have to have your square meals.
Okay.
God, it kind of dipped into it for a minute. Little Pennywise in my donkey. I don't know if I like that.
I'm trying. The difficulty of keeping a deep but jovial Midwestern voice is
you're right.
And that is all.
Now, while they're having their conversation, I like to imagine at this point, like, Gideon is pulling out his book from last night and immediately flipping through the pages. All right, so while we're on the road, on our way towards the cave, I actually wrote up a little bit of a plan for how we're going to deal with this today. And I know, Doug, you're a new addition, so we can find a way to work you into the plan. But I think what I've got here is pretty good. I think what we've got here is pretty good so far. So,
Did you add the chromatic orb part?
No, I did not add in the chromatic orb part.
You really should.
I'll consider it. But
have you heard about his fireball idea? I think that's not too bad. It's a little dangerous, but it is an idea.
Dangerous is another word for good.
I look at Johnny like a disapproving parent. You told Doug about the fireball plan.
Of course I did.
Don't you?
Let Gideon let Gideon share his plan.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you.
All right,
Anyway.
let's hear it.
So, clearly whatever we're dealing with inside that cave does not like trespassers. it is very, very aggressive. What I'm thinking is that before we enter the cave, I use a ritual to summon my familiar, and I send the familiar into the cave before we go in. If the familiar dies, we can just bring it back, so no issues if it ends up being killed by whatever's in there. If the familiar comes back, it can report back to us what it saw.
Quick question on that. Is the familiar going to feel any pain?
Well, I don't know.
Ooh, that's
I don't
rough.
Think so. I don't think so.
I'd never do that to Donkey.
Oh, well, listen, once you get to know my familiar, you won't feel that bad. Anyways, we send the familiar in. If it ends up being killed by whatever is in there, we know it's awake. If we end up sending him in there and he comes back, he'll be able to relay to us what we're dealing with. And after that, we can plan appropriately. If it is some kind of dragon, we could use Johnny's whiskey as an offering. Dragons are naturally covetous creatures. I'm sure they would take that offering and potentially allow us to lower its guard. And from there, we can do what Johnny wants to do.
Tame it.
No,
Right
never mind. We will
sunset.
not do what Johnny wants to do.
What?
We are not taming a dragon.
Why not? Give me 28 good reasons.
Well,
can I
I could
befriend the dragon?
If the dragon is willing to take the peaceful route, I am willing to negotiate with it. However, a dragon that has potentially killed every adventurer that has come to the cave and drove the animals out, I don't believe is going to be very friendly.
It will after a few drinks.
Well, if it really is a dragon, because we don't know, I just a wild guess that I made. And we find out, I can try to talk to it.
Dragons can speak common.
Oh, they can?
Yeah, dragons are very intelligent.
Okay, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know if they speak common or if they have their own dragon language.
They have draconic, but dragons of this world, most of them learn common pretty quickly.
I see. I still think I should talk to it.
Well, in
if
that
you-
case...
I was just going to say, I am a merchant. I have, haggled quite a bit. I could also probably take a stab at it if things are looking a little rough.
Well,
God, we're stabbing it. I thought we were being peaceful.
in that case,
stop
and you
my
see I'm
dragon.
kind of like pondering and looking over my notes. Well, in that case, we can go forward like this. I will still summon my familiar, and I will send it in to scout the cave first. If it is immediately met with being killed by the dragon, we can assume that it is a very hostile beast that lives within that cave. And if my familiar ends up coming out and is able to relay the information, we can assume it's either asleep or the two of you could try potentially negotiating with it. The moment any negotiations go south, though, and I'm going to point at Johnny, I'm just going to say, chromatic orb.
Okay.
I like
Does that
to
sound
think that
good?
you have, the heist music underneath this entire thing.
Yeah.
It's the Ocean's 11 cut-in screens as you're planning everything.
Gideon's a very thorough individual. He likes planning for everything.
Okay, so you get to, a clearing a good bit before the mouth of the cave. And once again, you hear the forest noises, but from the cave, there's really no sound coming through.
Okay.
So I guess you're gonna go ahead and start your plan, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm immediately going to get out of the carriage, and I imagine in the dirt, I'm just gonna draw a little insignia, a little infernal insignia to start my ritual. This will take about 10 minutes.
Well, that gives us time to get this whiskey out of the cart. Hey, Johnny, can you help me with this thing?
Yep. And I'm gonna just jump out of the cart and get my hands underneath it.
Yeah, again, with the two of you, not a problem.
Great. We just set it on the ground for now until we're ready to move to the cave. And Doug will patiently wait for the ritual to be complete.
Sure, and the ritual in a puff of flame and smoke is complete, and underneath that flame and smoke is...
My little fiendish familiar, that shares the name with my patron, Zeminier. It is a little pale imp with a bony, like a bony, almost exoskeleton-esque appearance with little insectoid wings and a long barbed tail.
It looks right at you.
And I look back at it.
I believe, Find Familiar, you have telepathic connection with it within 100 feet, correct?
Yes.
Sure. So you can, as a bonus action, see through its eyes and hear through its ears. So you're just going to get its perspective as it goes in?
Yes, I want to get its perspective, send it in, see what happens.
You got it, boss. And it just starts scampering towards the cave. All right. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm just gonna sit down cross-legged and with my arms folded. It was just with my eyes closed while the imp is in there investigating. And let me pull up my imp stat block.
Yeah, I'm gonna need. I guess just send that to me on Discord because I'm gonna need that
I got you.
for all kinds of roles.
Here, just check your DMs. I sent the stat block in there.
Gotcha.
All right. So yeah, I send him in there. And before I do that, I am going to have him cast invisibility on himself.
Okay. Sounds good. So invisibility gives him. Thanks. I love when a spell is like it has the condition that is the same word without telling me what that condition does.
It should say on the imp stat block.
It's an imp thing.
Yeah, it's specifically on the imp stat block that it's capable of turning invisible as an action.
Gotcha. Until attack concentration ends, is invisible with it. I'm trying to find the what the invisible condition is to know like how to what like here it is. Okay, I've got the condition pulled up.
I was gonna say I just had it pulled up too.
Possible to see without the aid of magic or special sense. Purpose of hiding heavily obscured. Attack rolls have disadvantage. Creatures attack have advantage. Okay, so very high DC, understood. Okay.
Yeah.
So the imp kind of walks in, and you have that 100 feet connection?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about 60 feet is dark vision range, and that's about where that bend begins. And you can see it from its eyes, and I believe it also has dark vision. So it's kind of walking in, and it's getting deeper and deeper as it looks back up. Once it makes like one last look up to you and the mouth of the cave, and then starts to follow that bend. And it spirals for a good bit, not a crazy amount. Still within your 100-foot sphere, but it's getting lower, so that distance is getting harder to judge. Eventually, it starts hearing, and you start hearing through it, chattering. What languages do you speak?
My languages, let's see here.
It speaks Infernal and Common, but you're hearing it too, so I don't know if you speak anything additional.
I know Draconic and Dwarvish.
Son of a bitch. Okay, you hear chattering in Draconic.
Ooh.
And it's several voices. And it almost sounds like a bit of a group figuring out what they're going to do. But you hear like you hear bits of conversation like, I don't want to go hunting today. I went hunting yesterday. My pickaxe broke. Do you have one? Okay, yes, I can use yours. I can use yours. And like these chatterings going back and forth in a hushed voice, getting louder as your imp continues in.
When I hear this conversation, is there any possibility I could like try to do a history check to see if I could identify what could possibly be talking if I know it's Draconic?
History or nature, I think makes sense here.
Okay, let me take a look here. All right, well, I'm gonna do history. Ooh, that's a 5.
No clue.
Okay.
It's definitely strange. If a dragon that size was in this cave, there wouldn't be much room for much else.
Yeah.
But dragons, that's with a 5, that's really all you're gonna get.
Okay.
Continue on?
Yep, continue on.
It makes... So it's invisible, and it's also small. Yeah, tiny, so I don't really have to worry about that. You begin to see what looks like 2 large boulders I guess have it make a perception check.
Sure. Let me just check what my...
It's perception is wisdom. It's got a +1.
It's got a +1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a dirty 20.
Okay, so you see those two boulders, and up about 20 feet, you notice that there's also what appears to be the mouth of another cave, just before the roof of the cave you're in. It's about maybe like a 5 to 6 foot opening. And then there's the two boulders in front of you that makes about a 6 foot wide gap that you can squeeze through. Well, I mean, the imp can walk right through, but like people could squeeze through.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Continue onward.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I'm just gonna keep sending. I'm gonna send Zeminier in as far as he can go.
As you approach those boulders with the depth and how far it's been walking, the vision gets fuzzy. You're about 100 feet in, so either you can start moving further into the cave to continue this, or send Zeminier in alone and see what he comes back with.
I'm gonna send him in alone.
All right. I'm gonna make some dice rolls.
We're gonna see his corpse get spit out the
roll stealth with advantage for me, because he's invisible. He's a +5.
Okay, stealth with advantage.
And I'm rolling perception on these. Actually, I guess I'll go against passive perception.
All right, so you said he had a +5?
Yes.
All right, so that is going to be a 18.
Okay. About 2 to 3 minutes pass, and Zeminier comes back. Your vision kind of comes back, and you're seeing those two boulders again.
Okay.
Can you communicate telepathically, or is it just you can see? No, you can communicate telepathically. Okay, so Zeminier comes back through. I don't see a dragon in there. There's a lot of kobolds, though.
A lot of kobolds.
There's a fire pit, some bedrolls, some tools, some crates, some barrels, and a lot of kobolds, but I don't see a dragon.
Interesting. Come back to the rest of the group. I'll relay the information.
All right. And he said, back up the cave.
So, yeah, at that point, I'm gonna, like, stand up from the pose I was in. I'm gonna, like, hold up my arm for him to just land on it as he comes out of the cave.
Yeah, within a minute or two, he's back out.
So, how big is the dragon?
He wasn't able to see a dragon in there.
What?
Oh, the dragon's invisible.
No, not quite. I don't believe so. However, we have a bigger issue.
Oh.
If there is a dragon in there, the dragon has however many kobolds that seem to be helping it. Zeminier saw several kobolds living within the cave, and they seem to be bickering amongst themselves about who was going to go out and collect resources tonight.
The kobolds are holding the dragon hostage.
No, Johnny, that's not how kobolds work.
The dragon is holding the kobolds hostage.
Closer, but also no.
The dragon's holding me hostage?
Or
Yes,
it
Johnny.
You're really pretty,
Yes.
Johnny.
could, or it could just be kobolds. But I think there's a dragon in there. Let's
well.
go kick some kobold butt.
Yes, well, we should err on the side of caution. Zeminier only saw kobolds in there, so that means the dragon might be away, but it also might mean the dragon is somewhere in the cave that he wasn't able to find.
From his full report, that room they were in, there's a back wall that has a lot of like tools, and it seems like they're digging there for something. And then the cave kind of comes around to a higher point, but there was a lot of kobolds walking around up there, and he was worried that he might bump into one, so he did not go there.
Okay, so there was an unexplored part of the cave.
A little bit, pointing kind of back to the way it came.
Okay, interesting.
Make an insight check for me.
Sure. 19.
Okay, you get the sense from the full description and what you saw that might point to that mouth that was near the ceiling.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna.
So that might point back into the way it came.
Okay. So I'm just gonna relay what you told me so that the party can figure that out amongst ourselves. But yeah, I just kind of like nod along, just like, if we want to go in there and at least take care of the kobolds, I'm sure that the town would appreciate it regardless.
Let's do it.
All right.
Well then, and I draw my maul and I'm like, let's go bash some skulls in.
All right. So our party, I guess I'll pull up a map. So what is your marching order? You're heading towards the right. Like,
I'll
this
take
is
the lead.
further in.
Yeah, Doug should definitely take the lead.
I know you have dark vision, so it suggested you also go up front too.
Yeah. Can we walk like?
Oop. True.
And then she
performance.
scaled away.
Yeah, you can side by side.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's actually better question? Are you carrying the barrel now, or is it outside before negotiations might
It's
start?
outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this kind of the pack formation, as it were?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Beep 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 beep. Oh, now I'm just playing with dolls. Now we're just hanging out.
do.
Let's get you to the no incidents yet. You're kind of keeping a low profile, I assume. As you get towards the bend, I'm gonna need everyone to roll a stealth check.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Assuming you're trying to be cool and collected about this.
10.
I'm gonna try. Oh, damn it. Okay, I have disadvantage on stealth. I rolled a 20. That's not what we're going with, though. I rolled 6.
Hate to see it.
16.
Okay. And what were the other two?
11.
10.
Okay. As you approach the last bend, because like I said, it kind of winds down for a bit. As you're approaching this last bend, my fog of war isn't working, and I don't know how to get it to work, but that's okay. Because I'm in like GM view, I guess, so I can see behind the fog of war, but I don't want to. But you know, such is life. You approach that last bend I was talking about, towards where the boulders were. But as you get close, we'll say about here, and it widens up right before the boulders are just down the way over here. On this wall to your left, suddenly there is almost as if a spotlight of light shining directly at that wall. From flickering and color, you guess that it's from fire, and you hear those thunderous impacts, the poof, poof, and much louder than when you were at the mouth.
I'm gonna freeze up.
That's definitely a dragon.
Yes, I believe that is a dragon.
You think he heard me?
No, you're good.
You should be fine. Just stay quiet. Don't do anything to get his attention.
As you get to the mouth of this opening...
Our order technically changed because of the curve.
Oh, you're right.
Could I accidentally slip on a rock?
Do you want to? Well, before you do that, as you get to this like slight opening where like you notice the like that this is that before the boulders section where your imp saw the mouth kind of at the top. For your sake, hon, look at this screen.
Okay.
Where you saw that like opening that's kind of noted here. Everyone make a perception check for me.
Okay.
That's not good.
As a 14.
9.
13.
21. Gideon, you hear Again in Draconic. I think I see 4. Oh, yeah, there's 4. Arms at the ready.
I
barely whispered through the cave.
I'm gonna stop dead in my tracks, and I'm gonna like try and signal for everyone else to stop for a moment.
When I see Gideon's signal, I look back and I slip.
Make him roll for that. You can't act sabotage.
Make a performance check.
With disadvantage?
No, I mean, you're trying to be an ass, so just make a performance check.
Why are you like this?
Let's see. Oh, a 9!
So you kind of hit the... Whoop! And you land on the stone, and there's that echoous... throughout the cave. In the light on the wall, you see the shadow of a maw begin to crest into that light.
Of a maw?
Yeah, like the large snout.
As I see Johnny fall, and I see the maw, you know that picture of the 1,000-yard stare, like the soldier?
It's a miracle we survived up to this point.
That is the look I am giving to the entire party.
It seemed light. I'm gonna get some moth.
Yeah, that's weird. A baby moth.
Hey,
Sorry, I freaked out. I think a moth like flew past like a foot from my face. I was like, huh. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So, what do you do?
hey Gideon, look, I don't want to be too presumptuous, but I think our cover may be blown. Do you have a plan B? Okay, no plan B.
No, we're gonna be okay. Plan B is plan B. I'm like slowly turning to like towards where the sounds are coming from.
Come down here, Gideon.
I'm gripping my maul tighter and tighter.
The snout comes more into frame of that light.
Come down here, I have an idea.
We're all gonna
I'm
die.
like
We're all
motion for
gonna
you to
die.
lean down.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die, and this is my fault. This was my plan. We're all gonna die. It's because of my plan.
Shut up.
It's gonna be my fault.
Fuck.
What do you want?
It's a dragon, right?
Excuse me.
So what if I use thaumaturgy to be a bigger dragon?
What did
What do you do?
Elena?
Excuse me.
Into the cave or to the group?
To the mall.
Oh,
The snout.
Make
Elena,
a persuasion check.
Elena, no.
Also, do you speak Draconic?
I don't actually have languages besides the Druidic language
And Common.
and Common.
All right.
I didn't know if because I know sometimes that like things give you extra languages. I didn't pick any if they did.
What's your persuasion?
Persuasion is plus 2, 14.
In Common, that booming voice says, "What do you want?"
I have a question.
There's no response.
Do you know what happened to the bears?
Oh my god. I'm crying at this point.
Another deep impact, and the snout. You can almost see the crest of the nose in that light. I ate them.
That's okay.
I knew it!
I'm like, at this point, I'm like frantic. There's tears running down my face. I'm frantically looking around. I'm looking at Johnny on the ground and wondering why, God, why? And then I'm thinking, okay, Elena's talking to the dragon. How can we get on its good side? The barrel. And I look at Johnny.
Where's the barrel? Outside.
What do you mean it's outside?
Well, you're not going to carry it all the way in here. I had to hold my maul.
Oh.
And I had to look awesome.
I'm gonna make a perception real quick. Yeah, okay. What's outside?
Oh, a barrel of alcohol.
We have whiskey.
That we brought for you!
If you would like some, it smells like alcohol in here.
Leave it at the mouth of the cave and leave.
I'm gonna whip around to Gideon and just look him like dead in the eye, and like I've normally had like a very warm face, but suddenly it's very serious. I go, is the goal to get the dragon out of the cave?
The goal is to take care of whatever made the bears go away.
Okay, the bears need to come back though, correct?
Yes, we need to get the bears back though.
Okay. Hey there,
Find new bears.
I'm gonna turn to the ball. Hey there, I understand that we have brought you some whiskey, but it does come with sort of a negotiation, if you would be.
What? And for a moment, it almost sounds like there's a hiccup.
Oh.
What is your negotiation?
I'm gonna make an insight check
Go for it.
on
That
that.
asshole's drunk.
I was about to say.
16.
Yeah, you get the sense that wherever this voice is coming from did not want that to slip out.
Well, it just seems to me that perhaps this conversation may have started with some false pretenses. It seems to me that this alcohol that we might be giving you may continue whatever party you seems to be having on the other side of these very large rocks. And honestly, we just want to get the bears back in the den. So what do you say we bring the whiskey in, we all have a nice drink, we have a nice end of the party, and then we all pack up and we go somewhere else, you know? We gotta let nature heal. And I'll roll a persuasion.
Sure.
14.
Step into the light. Again, to give you a frame of reference, you're at the mouth of this opening. The boulders are on the other side, and this opening is somewhat illuminated by the shadow light on the wall.
Okay.
I when he says that, I'm just looking to the party. Just, was that directed at Doug? Was that all of us?
I'm gonna turn to the party and say, well, if I get burnt to a crisp by the dragon, it's been nice knowing you. Please take care of Donkey.
Before you
Also
go, Doug,
step into the light
before you guys
with
go.
Doug.
Yeah.
Before you go.
Yeah.
I want to cast detect magic.
Ooh.
Sure. Let me look up exactly what that'll do for you.
I sense the presence of magical effects within 30 feet of myself.
Then 30 feet of yourself?
Yes. How close am I generally to where we would presume the dragon is?
So 30 feet here is 6 of these squares.
Yeah.
So actually there's a measure tool. Beep, 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 beep.
I'll move close.
You can get the wall from where you're currently standing. Once you turn on this radar, you get the sense that the light on the wall could be magical. There's something about it that, like, maybe the thing that is spawning this light is magical. But that you can only really get to the boulders from here.
Can I move a little over towards the wall on the left? And like down and over, it's like diagonal left down.
Right here?
A little more. Like, what's my movement range? 30 feet. Just move maximum.
Okay, you'll move into the opening,
Oh, is
like
that
he
an
said.
opening?
Like,
I thought
step
that was
that.
the wall. Oh, okay.
No, this is the opening we're talking about. The boulders are like just below
I see.
here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Then yeah, I'll
And-
move up to the point where I still can't be seen, but I'm a bit closer.
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
once again, the boulders. So to give you, you can kind of see the boulders from here. They're there.
Mm.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
And what is 2 questions. What is Doug's AC and what is Doug's Dex?
14 and 11.
11. Okay. So
Um,
okay. I was
checking something.
I see. I was like, I think it's like broke.
I was only asking because if it gave you a buff to your AC, right as you said, like, oh, if I get burnt to a crisp, I was gonna have Gideon just lay his hand on you and give you mage armor.
You should probably
but-
give it to Elena, because she's walking out with me, I suppose.
Yes.
Elena,
Actually, what does mage armor give you?
mage armor, so long as the spell lasts, your AC becomes 13 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay, that is an upgrade. You're at currently
15 is
15. It would bring you to 15 to 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, if Elena's going out with you, I'm just gonna pat Elena on the shoulder, and I'm gonna use mage armor, to protect her. Just neither of you die. Don't leave me alone with Johnny.
Try my best.
Yeah, it sounds good. Elena, it will be an honor to die alongside you.
So you take a step into the light.
I guess I would move here.
You want to go in front?
Well, cause like there's this thing in here.
Yeah, so the thing to the left,
Yeah.
this is that opening at the top of the cave that I was talking
Okay.
about. The wall is just there. There's just like a 5-foot opening about 20 feet up.
Oh, okay.
And then this is the actual way toward the boulders.
Way toward the boulders. Okay, never mind.
I will. So I'm gonna put away my maul
Okay.
as I step out, but I'm gonna have kind of my hand craftily near, like close enough to draw my longsword if I need it. So it's the hand's kind of on the belt.
Okay, so at the ready, but not showing weapon first.
Yes,
Got you.
we're negotiating.
What's your armor class?
14.
Okay. And Amanda, you're now 17?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as you both step out, you hear, without any words, just as 2 crossbow bolts, one pierces either of you from the opening at the top of the cave. And we can roll initiative.
That son of a bitch.
Hey.
Sorry.
Oh, absolutely not.